Brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cowfield and the wind like Pittodrie on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
Welcome along to Early Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, this Thursday morning. Good to have your company. Really excited for the show. We've got lots coming up. We're going to be going through the back pages, plenty going through the back pages this morning. And I'm going to be guiding you through the next hour ahead of the Breakfast Boys of Alan Brazil and Gabby Ogbonnahor, who are coming up at 6 a.m. So grab that cup of coffee and settle in as we get you ready for your day ahead. Nick is in the studio. What's coming up on the show, Nick?
Yeah, morning, Katie. On the way over the next hour, we'll start at the City Ground ahead of Ange Postecoglou's first press conference as Nottingham Forest head coach. He's facing the media and those questions this morning. We'll bring you that on talkSPORT today. We'll take a look at loyalty in sport as well. Is there anything that could stop you supporting your club? Plus, we'll get on the latest on those enhanced games. Ben Proud, the swimmer, on White and Jordan later. And we'll go through the best of the front and back pages on this Thursday morning.
Right, let's get into it. So if you're like me, you might be happy that the international break is over as the Premier League returns on talkSPORT.
The Premier League is back in session. What a goal! The roof has just been ripped off Anfield.
Well, this is absolutely remarkable. Nottingham Forest 0, West Ham United 3.
Nuno Espirito Santo sacked by Nottingham Forest.
Never ever predict what happens in the Premier League.
And is ready to return to the Premier League.
Salah comes into the box. It's left. Engamoa to finish it. He's won it. Rio Engamoa, the teenager. In comes the corner. It's flicked on at the near post, and João Pedro is there to head it in. It is Sunderland 2, Brentford 1.
Daniel Levy has stepped down from his role as executive chairman after nearly 25 years.
Now Haaland on the turn. Of course he scores. This is the Manchester derby.
Oh, and he's put it in the back of the net. Manchester United 3, Burnley 2 from the penalty spot.
Football, honestly, never changed. Domestic football back.
Oh, can't wait to have the Premier League back on talkSPORT. Plenty of stories circling around at the moment, including Ange Postecoglou becoming the new Nottingham Forest head coach. And he's spoken to the club's media channel on how he feels taking the job.
Yeah, look, it's it's always exciting, I guess. You always, when you go into a new role, the probably thing that hits you the most is the responsibility that you bear, because it's a fantastic football club with great history, and even in recent times has gone really well. So you kind of bear that responsibility. But excited, looking forward to it. Really happy to be here.
What was it about this club that matched your ambitions, that made you think this was the right job for you?
Look, I think when you're out of work in sort of my profession, there's always these things in your head about what you want to do next. And from my perspective, like I said, it's a historic club. It's got real ambitions, and that's really important to me. It's got an exciting squad, and playing against the club last year, you could sense that there was a real strong unity between the players, the manager, the support, and you want to be a part of that.
Yeah, Ange's first press conference is coming up at 11:30 this morning, and we'll bring you the best of that on White and Jordan later on. Ange's already taken his first Forest training session. He arrives at Forest as a Europa League winner. Could he do it 2 years running? Obviously, he always says he wins things in his second season, but he certainly brought his entire Spurs coaching team to Forest. Fellow Aussie Millet Yedinak, assistant coach, Nick Montgomery and Sergio Raimundo as well. Rob Birch comes in as goalkeeping coach, and talkSPORT's Troy Deeney caught up with Forest's Callum Hudson-Odoi about Ange's first session, and if he spoke to any of Postecoglou's former players about what he's actually like.
Yeah, I just wait to see what happens, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just wait and see how he is. And as I said, it was a session. It was a session, I'll be honest. But yeah, it was good. It's good. Like, I think for us, you rather wait and see what happens than to be asking so many questions, because everyone has different opinions. So I'd rather just wait and see myself and judge it for myself, yeah. So yeah, it was good. As you said, for us, it's building that relationship with him early and getting them that stuff of ideas of what he wants to bring into the team. And obviously for us, as I said, as players, when the manager comes in, you have to make sure that you get that quickly, because games happen fast, and there's one coming on Saturday. So for us, it's just making sure we're ready, we're prepared, and make sure that everyone is just knowing what he wants us to do and trying to hopefully imply that in the game.
Good to hear from Callum Hudson-Odoi there. Also, talkSPORT's Danny Murphy says the appointment of Postecoglou was actually a surprise because his style of play is so different to Nuno's, but Ange can adapt.
I was a little bit surprised at Ange, just because of the complete contrast. I like him. I mean, he's warm, he's likeable, he's great at talking, he gives us something, I think. But from a footballing perspective, I would imagine we'll see a little bit of a difference. I don't think he's going to be as predictable as he was before. He showed at the end of his tenure at Tottenham that he has the ability to adapt and change, and it gave him some success. So I think, like anybody who's reasonably intelligent while working and doing any job, you learn each time you go to a new environment and a new club, and you listen, and you don't think you're right. You learn as you progress and improve.
Yeah, I agree with Danny there. I think it's always good to have Ange Postecoglou back in the Premier League in terms of he's quite an inspirational talker. It's really interesting to see how he comes across in press conferences, whether that's applying emotion, inspiration, and he's just overall a good talker. And sometimes it's really good to kind of have that entertainment in the Premier League amongst all of the drama as well. The only thing is, I think he's going to have to do better than he did at Spurs in terms of his league campaign, finishing 17th in the top flight. 22 defeats was the most of any team not to be relegated in a 38-game Premier League season. So Nottingham Forest, I'm going to be looking at the league form. But if he brings them European success, that's where all the focus will be. But can he adapt? That will be the big test for him. Right, moving on to something a little bit different here, because Alexander Isak has been photographed in training with Liverpool for the very first time. This is ahead of his impending debut. So we wanted to chat here about loyalty in sports. Is there any loyalty left in football? The era of the one club man is dead. So Trent Alexander-Arnold at Real Madrid, Marcus Rashford is obviously over at Barcelona. So players like Ryan Giggs, Steven Gerrard and John Terry, well, they're a thing of the past. So in the Premier League, Seamus Coleman at Everton is the longest serving player. He arrived from Sligo Rovers 11 and a half years ago. And some managers have shown loyalty. For example, we had Thomas Frank, didn't we, until he left Brentford to go for the Tottenham job. So are fans the only truly loyal people left in sport? And are sports teams the only thing we're really 100% loyal to? So we wanted to play you a clip from the YouTube channel Subway Takes. Just have a listen.
The only thing people are truly loyal to are sports teams.
So what's your take?
The only thing people are truly loyal to are sports teams.
100% disagree. I'm very loyal to many things. And none of them are sports teams.
People aren't loyal to their jobs. They're not loyal to their friends. But you will never see someone change their mind about a sports team.
They're not loyal to their friends?
Do you have your same friends since you were like 30 years old?
No, but that's not based on loyalty. That's just based on the fact that we don't have the same vibe anymore.
But here's the thing with sports. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. They're terrible. They are the worst team ever. Every Sunday, I will show up, waste my entire day, text my dad talking about how miserable I am, but then show up the next day.
Right.
Think about like a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant, especially in New York City, the food is cold, the food is late, the waiter is rude. You'll never go back again. But with the sports team, they can be terrible for 25 years.
You keep going back for more.
You'll keep coming back.
What about the United States fans versus like for example, the football fans
in Europe?
Yeah. Who do you think is more passionate, more loyal?
I'm going to give it to Europe.
That loyalty hits different.
If you show up to like a Barcelona game wearing like a rival team's like jersey or kit, it's over.
I think it's a really interesting talking point because, you know, when you support a team, you stick with it all the way through. So I'm an Arsenal fan. I remember my dad taking me to my first Arsenal game when I was about 9 years old. It's Arsenal against Tottenham, the North London derby. And from there, I was set. I was an Arsenal fan through and through and always have been. And like the clip just said there, you can be a fan for 20, 25 years, whether they go through good spells or bad spells. You stick and you're loyal to your football team, and it's different with friends. Friends come and go. You adapt, you evolve as life goes on, but you very rarely switch your local team or the football team that you support. So that's what's quite interesting, I thought, about that Subway's take in that clip, really. Is there anything that your club could do which would make you stop supporting it? What's the maddest thing you've ever done out of loyalty to your club? So the ups and downs and twists and turns of football certainly has us talking this morning about are fans the only true loyal people left in sport? And is there anything that your club could do which would make you stop supporting it? Give me a call, 03717 22 3344. You can give me a text this Thursday morning, 81089. Or you can, of course, have your say on one of the other talking points we're speaking about this morning. Ange at Nottingham Forest, his first game is against Arsenal, that 12:30 kickoff, which you can hear live on talkSPORT. And if there's anything your club could do to make you turn your back on it, give me a call. And of course, you can contact the WhatsApp as well. Just a reminder of the number, 03717 223344. Love to hear from you this morning, or give me a text, 81089. This is Early Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Right, coming up next, we're going to be looking over the back pages. Good morning. You're listening to Early Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, here this Thursday morning. I'll be guiding you through until 6 o'clock, where Alan Brazil and Gabby Bonhor will be taking over with talkSPORT Breakfast. But this is Early Sports Breakfast with Adrian Flux. Get a tailor-made quote for your commercial vehicle. Search Adrian Flux Insurance for the individual. Right, did anyone watch the NTAs last night? Great to see that Gary Lineker won Best Presenter for he presented that show, Match of the Day, for a very, very long time, and actually beating Anton Decker, who've won Best Presenter, I believe, for 23 years. So a long time coming, and congratulations to Gary Lineker. We're just going to pick up and speak to Paul, the Leicester fan, on something we were just speaking about, all about loyalty. It's basically about, what's the maddest thing you've ever done out of loyalty for your club? Is there anything that your club could do to make you stop supporting? This is following Alexander Isak being photographed in training with Liverpool for the very first time ahead of his impending debut. So is there any loyalty left in sports? So let's speak to Paul, the Leicester fan. Paul, good morning.
Morning. Yes, it's interesting. I'm quite strong on this. I mean, your early memories, your primary school, junior school, going down to football, it's all party DNA. You grow up there, it's in the local paper, you get sucked down there. It's your early memories. Your friends come and go then. And it's a part of your identity, and you will never ever choose it. So that's why the club chooses you. So I'm a firm believer in that. Ultimately, I know there's caveats, but ultimately it's where you're born and where you move to when you're young. You could have, and even if you move away from it, it's still your club.
Yeah, I do agree with your point there, Paul. I suppose there are lots of Manchester United fans in London, so I suppose you're right. You're very right in terms of it normally chooses you, but there are lots of, probably for the bigger clubs, kind of fans all over the world.
There is. I understand all that, but we've had the football structure over 100 years. A lot of countries like they're just coming on board with it more and stuff. But it chooses you, and it's not about when we've been successful relatively, and people say to me, "How long have you been supporting them?" I said, "How long have you been supporting them in 2016?" The show's me. So that's the type of people you get. But I feel quite strong because the club chooses, capital letters, chooses you. And anybody you speak to who is from where they are, the big thing, and then the kind of bit vague on how they go on and asking the results and stuff. Not quite right, is it? I know how Leicester are doing. All the way from 3 o'clock till 5. My aunt misses a beat, and I know everything. So, you understand what I mean? And it's those people not who wear the big clubs, big shirts. Oh, how did they go on at the weekend? The big clubs. It's just not quite right then. There you go.
Is there anything that would stop you supporting Leicester?
No, of course not. Because it's there, isn't it? Even to went down to the National League or, whatever. It's there. You just don't, it's just part of the thing. Because it's still football and it's still local. It's still your club, isn't it?
Yeah.
As long as it's there, as long as it's relevant, that's the main thing.
What do you think's been your favourite memories, shall I say, plural, with Leicester over the years?
Well, we've been Big Six. I suppose we're in the so-called. I suppose you got to top now. The Big Six, I think. We're number 7 in how well we've done. The Premier League, 18-19 seasons, 2 League Cups, FA Cup, Premier League by a mile, country mile. We went to Wembley loads of times in the playoffs in the 90s. So I've been quite lucky. So there's been quite a lot of them. Playoff finals with 1 and 2 League Cups, so that was great. And the replay. FA Cup, I couldn't go to that because of the COVID thing. So just, obviously, Premier League, I suppose.
How do you think you're going to get on this season?
It's looking good. Got some good signings. Got some young lads coming. Jordan James, he's a good player from Birmingham. And Alan Ramsey. Yeah, Alan Ramsey from Birmingham. Got him on loan. So we're not being classed as favourites. I don't know what's left on the points thing, but we'll see. Nobody's really, saying that we're going to be up there, but we are up there already. So let's just hope we get this stability back and, we'll see.
Wonderful. Paul, thank you so much for calling Early Sports Breakfast. Good to speak to you this morning. Have a great day. Right, that's Paul the Leicester fan. You can also call the show 03717223344, or you can give me a text 81089. Really good to speak to Paul the Leicester fan this morning, and let's see how Leicester get on this season. Right, we've got the morning's back pages coming up, but let's run through some of the headlines, shall we? England's cricketers suffered a 14-run defeat to South Africa in a rain-affected T20 clash in Cardiff. South Africa scored 97 for 5 from 7.5 overs. Harry Brooks' team then scored 54 for 5 from 5 overs, meaning they fell short of the Duckworth-Lewis adjusted target. Defending county cricket champions Surrey have a lead of 274 runs going into the final day of their match with Warwickshire. The table toppers will resume on 276 for 2 in their second innings. Second place, Nottinghamshire need just 96 runs to tie up a victory over bottom club Worcestershire. A win for Notts would set up a title decider between them and Surrey next week. And Jamie Vardy insists you can never be too old to learn. The 38-year-old and obviously former Leicester player has taken on a new challenge after signing for newly promoted Serie A side Cremonese. It's the first time Vardy will play outside of England. And he says his experience of working under former boss Enzo Maresca made sure that he'll be able to adapt to Italian football.
It's one of the top leagues. You can see slightly different from the Premier League, probably more tactical, a bit more possession. But even last year, I was playing with Enzo Maresca, and he's brought that style with him to the UK. So it's not like I've not been involved in teams that can play that way. So really looking forward to it.
The other big story that we've got going on is Thomas Tuchel insists, this is actually one of the back pages which we'll be going through very shortly. He insists he is brave enough to leave out some of England's biggest stars if he needs to. It's after England smashed Serbia 5-0 with around half of the best 11 missing. So the likes of Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka and Cole Palmer were all out through injury, while Trent Alexander-Arnold and Phil Foden were overlooked in selection. Interesting this, because I think that Noni Madueke has come in and taken that opportunity really well out on that right wing, so he's probably... But then Bukayo Saka's got so much credit in the bank, hasn't he? So who's going to be going for that right wing position? Also in terms of the number 10, Cole Palmer still not back in the side at the moment. Then you've got Jude Bellingham. You can't be leaving out Jude Bellingham. So really interesting to see how England are going to line up in the World Cup. Plenty of time still to be decided. Well, talkSPORT's Stuart Pearce gave us his England starting 11 if the World Cup was tomorrow.
I would put Pickford in goal. I would probably, and this is a tough call for me, at right back, but I'd probably edge on Livramento with a proviso that he's got room for improvement. I think he can improve and be a really top-class player.
I like him.
Yeah, and as I say, he gets forward really well. At the heart of the defence, I would probably get Gahey's a given. It's him and somebody else. I really like this kid. I would play John Stones alongside him. And at left back, I still think Luke Shaw's the best left back we got if he's fully fit and available.
Okay. Ray Smithfield?
Not as a holder. For me, he's got to play further up the pitch as a number 8. Alongside Bellingham in that central area, and as a holder I think you've got a choice of two. You've got Walton and Anderson at the moment. I'd probably just err on Anderson because of what he done with the 21s in the summer especially, and what he's doing at Forest.
Right, so what we got then, so listen, the two wide players.
Two wide players. Well, Harry Kane's a given up front for everybody. I would play on the right-hand side Saka. I think he's been outstanding for England over a long period of time. And on the left-hand side, I'd play Madueke.
That's interesting. That's exactly what I would agree with. Nick Ellaby's here in the studio to talk through the back pages.
Put Madueke on the left.
Did he say left?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'd probably put him on. Oh, but then
you've got Saka, haven't you? But this is the headache. A nice headache that.
Glad I'm not Thomas Tuchel.
Got.
Yes. Where would you like to start?
Well, I mean, obviously, that's a big headline on the back pages of a lot of the papers this morning. Thomas Tuchel says he's got no problem leaving out those big names, stars and swipes on the back of the Sun, alarm bell. I don't think Jude Bellingham's place is necessarily in doubt. But
no. You can't go to a World Cup with England without Jude Bellingham. I think.
Obviously not. But when you pick that 11, like Stuart Pearce was saying the other day, if it's for the greater good of the collective, then, sometimes you do have to leave out the big names. Interesting, Ivan Toney on the back of The Guardian saying Al Ahly would be close to top 4 in the Premier League. I mean, he is out there. He is going to say that.
And they did knock out Man City, the Club World Cup, but how much of you can't exactly compare the Club World Cup with.
I'm not sure I agree with that. But on Toney, the big problem for England is, like, if Kane gets injured, who is going to take over? Like, Ivan Toney's probably the most like for like. Ollie Watkins, you'd say, is the next in line, but could Rashford play up top? Ethan Nwaneri, you're an Arsenal fan. Do you think Ethan Nwaneri could play striker for England?
Not with the other. I think there's plenty of people ahead of him. I think he's a fantastic talent, but
Arteta's talked about him as playing in that position. Anyway,
let's move on to one of the really interesting stories. Ben Proud, this enhanced sports. I think this is the enhanced games, rather. This is really interesting. I've actually met Ben Proud at the Paris Olympics, and I saw him win the silver medal at the Paris Olympics when I was doing it for talkSPORT in the La Défense Arena in northwest of Paris. And he's a really, really, first of all, before we go into this, he's a really bright, quite inspiring individual, and he won silver in the 50-metre freestyle, which I don't know if you know, Nick. It's actually normally when you see, for example, they're doing a sprint, like Adam Peaty doing the 100 metres, it's 2 lengths of the pool, whereas the 50-metre freestyle is the most explosive and fast race, and they start at the other end, and blink and you'll miss it. Anyway, he won silver, and I was really pleased for him, but I'm interested to see why he's made this next move.
It's a funny event, this, isn't it? I mean, this has been set up. It's been in the pipeline for quite a long time, these enhanced games. But the problem for them is, I mean, they're planned to take place in May next year. Rob McElhenney, the Hollywood actor, Wrexham co-owner, is making a documentary about it. But not many of the top athletes have signed up. And you can see that they're really promoting Ben Proud joining their games and trying to drum up support from it. Ben Proud's on White and Jordan this morning talking about it. He's been on all the media channels talking about it. An interesting piece in the Times from Craig Lord saying that Proud's legacy is now going to be notoriety for appearing in these events rather than his medals in the Olympics, like you were saying. Sometimes I just think, like, the problem with drugs testing in sport is the drugs are quicker than the actual testing. So, it's like, sometimes maybe we should just let them all juice.
Yeah.
And crack on. Obviously, the problem with that is safety, and these are the concerns about these athletes taking part in these games. Are they safe taking these banned drugs? But be interesting to see what Ben says on Wine Jordan this morning.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. As we say, most of the pages are dominated by Isak and it being in Liverpool training, Ange Postecoglou with Nottingham Forest, and then, really looking forward to hearing from Ben Proud. That's all we've got time for this morning on Back Pages. Nick, thank you very much.
Yes.
Kate Shanahan here with you this Thursday morning. Really looking forward to the Premier League being back this weekend. talkSPORT Breakfast is coming up at 6 o'clock. Up next, we'll be having some fun with the front pages, rather.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were absolutely sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895 they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money, but instead of entering league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. Think of it like the Harlem Globetrotters of football, and it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil, and the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest clubs in Brazil.
Good morning, you're listening to Early Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, here on talkSPORT. We're going to be looking ahead to Ange Postecoglou, who's facing the media for the first time as Nottingham Forest boss. That's at 11:30, so you'll be hearing that in White and Dawn later on this morning. So how do you think he's going to get on as Nottingham Forest manager? Can he adapt his playing style? It's going to be very different, but hopefully the players can get on board very, very quickly. Forest fans, Spurs fans, Celtic fans, how do you rate his chances of success? Give me a call on 03717 2233 44. Katie Shanahan here, guiding you through until 6 o'clock when Alan Brazil and Gabby Bonhor will be here with talkSPORT Breakfast. Well, Ange Postecoglou's already spoken to the club's media channel and they asked him how his ambitions match those for the club.
I've kind of worked myself into this position over the last 28 years because I never put any limits on kind of what I wanted to achieve, and everywhere I've been, I've been fortunate to have success, which has allowed me to take the next step. And like I said, when you just look at what Nottingham Forest have achieved in recent times, it's actually an outstanding feat to be where they are right now. Because when you look at recent times, clubs that have been promoted, it's been a real struggle just to stay in the league. But in a very short space of time, they're back in Europe, competing for honours, and that's a credit to everyone involved, all the players, the managers, the owner, the management of the club, and I get a sense that they want more, certainly what I want, and I think it's an exciting time.
Right, what do you think about his appointment? Give me a call, 03717 223344, or you can give me a text 81089. I'll be reading some of these texts out very shortly. Thank you so much for everyone that's texting. I've finally worked out how to use the text console, so hopefully I'll be reading those out very shortly. This is Early Sports Breakfast with Adrian Flux, the cover you need at a price you will love with What Fans Insurer of the Year 2021. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Now, Mick, the Blackpool fan, has very kindly called into Early Sports Breakfast using the number 03717 223344. Very good morning, Mick. We're speaking about loyalty in football. Tell us about your story.
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware of it, but in 2013, Blackpool had issues with the owners, and obviously for about 4 years we boycotted the club. I'd say 75% of the fans did, so that really tested everybody's loyalty. Not buying stuff from club shop, etc., etc. So yeah, that was quite hard, and quite a lot of youngsters from the age. So I've got older kids, but younger kids, their children didn't go to the games, so that really, a lot of them sort of went off to other teams like United, City, Burnley, them sort of teams in that area. So yeah, it was just that really, and obviously since the Premier League days, the high eights, where we went to the Premier League and what have you. It was a downhill spiral for probably the next 10 years. And we're on an upward keel at the minute. They've not started too well, but it's a lot better now. I go with a couple of my kids and we just love going to the games. But yeah, it did test the loyalty, not of myself, but there was quite a lot of fans who drifted off to other teams or didn't come back. So that's what I would say with that. It's happened to quite a few other teams as well, which you know about other teams with boycotting and that. But I think we were the main team to do the boycotting, where we were only getting crowds of 2,000, we're now back up to 11,000. So that was my point, really. Just that really did test a lot of people's loyalty, in my opinion. But like I say, good signs are on the way back now, to be fair. We do have a good owner now, so that's really what I wanted to say, really.
Mick, that's a great point that you make, because obviously this happens, we see across the board with owners and problems with fans. But Mick, what made you want to stay?
I'm 52 now, and I first went to my first Blackpool game in the early 80s when we were in the 4th division with my dad, so I've always supported the team. There's a lot of friends of mine and people who are Liverpool United fans, but in my opinion, they're not Liverpool United fans. They don't go to games. They just don't want to watch a lower league team. And I just think, we like I say, we were up in the Premier League, which was, apart from having all my kids, was one of the best days of my life, to be fair. And it really got ruined, and instead of being like Burnley, West Brom teams like that, Blackpool didn't take advantage of that season. They went up, they should have kept the money, they should have reinvested, which they didn't. Shout out to Ian Holloway as well. There's plenty of respect for that guy, what he did for our club. But yeah, he's we go week in, week out now, and he always will. And like I say, a lot of my friends and family still go, but I know 1 or 2 people who, when the boycott was on, they drifted off and they don't go anymore, which is very, very sad. We did lose a lot of fans.
Yeah, Mick, that's a brilliant point that you make. Best of luck this season. I know you've had a tricky start, and also, I'm also good friends with Ian Holloway. What a fantastic job he's done, just across football as well. Big fan of his, and best of luck with Blackpool and the upcoming season. Hopefully you can get over this tricky spell. Right, keep those texts coming in, 81089, or you can give me a call, 03717 223344. Great to have so many callers on the programme this morning. Let's run through a couple of headlines that you're waking up to this Thursday morning. It's 5:41. Tyrrell Hatton is one of 11 members of Europe's Ryder Cup team in action at the BMW PGA Championship today. It's the final tournament before the clash against the USA at the end of the month. Rory McIlroy is also there.
I've started to really appreciate coming back and playing in front of these crowds, and yeah, I think it shows in my golf, and they fill me up as a golfer these days, and it's great to come back, and great to be amongst familiar faces, and I'm excited to get started this week.
Yeah. Racing returns today after an unprecedented day of strike action to protest against an increase in betting taxes. There are 5 meetings. They run at Epsom, Chelmsford, Uttoxeter, Newcastle and Doncaster. And Sheffield United boss Ruben Sayers insists he's had no indication that his job is under threat. The beaten Championship playoff finalists have lost all 5 of their matches this season. Sayers replaced Chris Wilder in the summer and held talks with the board over the international break. Here he is.
They have been supportive in the way that we do things, and they want to do things. Obviously, we just use those periods just to make a meeting when we can talk with them and explain what we are doing and how we are doing. I just felt the support from them.
Sheffield United take on Ipswich. That's live on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow night. For more on this and on the day's biggest stories, go to talksport.com. Right, it is time for the front pages.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front pages first on the early sports breakfast.
talkSPORT.
Very good morning, Nick.
Hello, Katie.
What silly business have we got on the front pages?
I've got a question for you first.
Here we go.
Are you a fan of steak? I want to know how you cook it, if so.
I do like my steak.
So what's your recipe?
My recipe, is in terms of would I have it medium.
Okay. And how do you cook it at home? Do you put anything with it?
Yeah, a bit of pepper. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna. My husband does the steaks in our house. Yeah.
Well, I do the steaks in my house. We salt them massively. Bit of garlic. Sometimes make a little pan sauce with it. But Nigel, that was her dad. Nigella Lawson soaks her steak in vodka for supper.
Of course she does.
The TV cook queen recommends marinating a rump in the spirit. Her new recipe includes 80 millimetres of vodka, which is more than 3 shots. Nigella said Scandinavian-style vodka marinated steak is the recipe of the day. I might try that.
Well, it depends what time. Can't do it before work, can you? So.
Yeah, actually, your steak breakfast is pretty good. I do like steak and eggs for breakfast. I don't really get the chance to do it very much. Do you think we're alone in the universe? Do you believe in aliens?
Yes, I believe in life outside of Earth.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty big out there. Boffin.
It's pretty big out there.
It's pretty big. It's an understatement. Boffins say they've discovered the clearest evidence so far there was once life on Mars. NASA's Perseverance rovers found tiny rocks last year in a dusty, dried-up riverbed on the red planet dotted with markings. So, I think we're one step closer to finding out we're not alone in the universe.
What else have you got? It was the NTAs last night?
Yeah, exactly. So, Gary Lineker's broken Anton Deck's 23-year streak as the best presenters in the country. I mean, fair play to him.
Yeah. I mean, he did Match of the Day for 26 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
a long time.
I think it was. It was 99 that he came in, and I don't know if you see those old clips of him. It's just like almost like a different person.
I know, totally different.
His voice is different, but yeah, he was so good. What do you make of the new one?
Yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah, I watch Match of the Day most Saturdays.
I don't know if you noticed that in the credits at the moment they've actually used that Clive Tildesley clip of the Wayne Rooney goal he scored when he was 15 from ITV.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what's happening there. I think that's being looked into at the moment. But yeah,
his acceptance speech was nice. Clearly, even when he did his sign-off of Match of the Day, you could tell how much it really meant to him because he was close to tears. And even last night, he said, "I've just won the Anton Deck Trophy," which I thought was quite funny. 23 years that they've won that.
Incredible, isn't it?
Actually mad. I mean, they are amazing.
Is that the longest streak in awards history?
Probably. I thought someone like Dermot O'Leary would have won that over the years.
Yeah, right.
He's so natural.
For X Factor.
For X Factor, all those big shows he's done. So, but they've got 2 of them, so maybe they've got a significant advantage.
I hope we see. I mean, I know Gary Lineker does work with TNT a little bit. I hope we see him back on presenting football because he's just. I think he's a great presenter. Very natural.
Very natural,
yeah.
And also hard to do that transition from football into TV presenting because not everyone can do it.
Well, he's got some reality show lined up.
Yes, on ITV.
Called The Box.
Yes, The Box.
Did they call it that because he's a striker and he's boxing the box?
Probably. I think they've definitely had to use some kind of football terminology in there.
I can't be doing with all that, but
yeah.
I wish him best of luck though.
Yes, we should. Right, Nick, is that all for now?
That's it for now.
Perfect. Right. Keep those texts coming in 81089, or you can of course give us a call 03717223344. All about is loyalty still left in sport? All about loyalty. Get given loyalty straight away, don't you? Never leave your club, and many people don't. Anyway, Mick, the Blackpool fan, was telling us, if when it comes to owners, if they do things that you don't agree with, maybe you do switch clubs. Give us a call 03717223344. All about loyalty in sport. Up next, you'll get a chance to see Oasis in their last ever show and win a whopping £25,000. Good morning, Katie Shanahan here on Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We are playing Oasis because time is ticking with just under 2 weeks to go. Enter now for your chance to win £25,000 and tickets to Oasis's final Wembley gig, would you believe? It's our biggest competition yet. Don't look back in anger. Here's how you can enter.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word Oasis to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission. Or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 treble38. All entries must be received by the 19th of September at 9 a.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Right, good morning. Katie Shanahan here on Early Sports Breakfast with Alan Brazil and Gabby Bonhall coming up at 6 a.m. on talkSPORT Breakfast. This is Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Get a tailor-made quote for your commercial vehicle. Search Adrian Flux insurance for the individual. Now, we've been talking about loyalty in sport. This is after Alexander Isak has been photographed in his first training at Liverpool after that busy summer transfer. So much controversy surrounding that. I'm going to speak to David, the Chelsea fan here, all about loyalty. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Katie. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, this Thursday morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Well, today is actually my birthday, actually. So
happy birthday.
Thank you. And also cool because, you're one of my favourite presenters. You're always smiling, always keeping everybody happy. And it's always great to have you on the Early Sports Breakfast show.
Oh, thank you ever so much, David. That's a really, really kind thing for you to say. Thank you so much. What would you like to say about loyalty regarding Chelsea, I believe?
Yes, so basically I support Chelsea and I've been supporting Chelsea pretty much, my whole life really. And, as supporters, we support obviously the club and obviously we support the club but not always the owners. And with loyalty, it's very interesting because it isn't always reciprocated from both sides, from either, the club to the player or from the club to the fans, because, when you think about loyalty, you want people to be as loyal as possible. But the reality is that, with players and with the club, it isn't always reciprocated. Like, in any given moment, if the club don't necessarily want a player, like Chelsea didn't want Conor Gallagher, they binned him off. And, we were really loyal to Conor, and Conor Gallagher was very loyal to the club. But when you look at it, from that point of view, if the club wants to get rid of you, they will get rid of you. And if the club want to keep you and want to keep you, they would do everything they can to keep you. So it isn't always reciprocated, which is a shame, really. But it's just the reality of what we say, the working world.
I think it's a really good point that you make, and I'm going to ask you a question. I don't think you'll have the answer, but who do you think's more loyal, clubs or players?
So that's a tough question because it really depends. I mean, if you was like someone who's come from the academy and who's gone into the first team, I will probably say the player. But at the same time, the club isn't all. I'll swing more slightly towards the player because obviously the player is there to obviously do a job and to be as prolific as they can be, but it isn't. It depends on the scenario. It really does. Like, no two scenario is the same, and you could be as loyal as possible. So it's a tough one.
I think it's also dependent on if the players come through the academy. I think the players typically more loyal to the club because they've grown up with the club. And like Conor, he didn't want to leave for Atletico Madrid, but he had to due to loads of different financial reasons. Thank you so much for your call this morning. Good to speak to you, David. Best of luck with Chelsea. Thank you so much. Right, we're coming up to talkSPORT Breakfast. So let's run through just quickly what we've got coming up on talkSPORT today. White and Jordan are here at 10 a.m. They're going to be speaking to Ben Proud, the Olympic swimmer who we were talking about earlier, who is joining the Enhanced Games. On Drive, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent will be chatting to Amir Khan ahead of Terence Crawford against Canelo Alvarez this weekend. Eddie Hearn is on Drive. It's fast approaching 1 year since AJ last fought in the ring. Meanwhile, on yesterday's show, the lads got stuck into who's the best striker in the world? Is it Kane, Mbappe or Haaland? Here it is.
Stats for the three. Kane, 40 goals in 57 games in the Champions League. His Bayern career total, Bayern Munich, is 100 games, 91 goals. I mean, the numbers I'm reading out are just insane. Mbappe, 55 goals in 87 games in the Champions League. La Liga record, 34 in 37.
Yeah.
And, of course, he got a hat-trick in the World Cup final, although Joe doesn't count it. And Haaland, 49 goals in 48 games in the Champions League. Haaland's record for City, 149 games, 127 goals. I mean, they're all ridiculous. I noticed you've not put Isaac in there. So with that in mind, we thought we'd ask, who is the best striker in world football right now? I think that's an impossible question to answer. I think it all comes down to who you fancy.
Do you know what's mad, right? So Haaland, we speak about Haaland. He's 100 appearances in a Prem, 88 goals. Man's about to get there rapido, like rapid.
You mean 100 club?
100 club,
Yeah.
rapid 12. He's getting that this season. He's in there by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Unless something goes wrong. It's such a hard question because it's what you like. Now, if you're asking me as a fan and Arsenal have got the opportunity to sign one of them, I'm taking Mbappe.
Okay.
Right, there we go. talkSPORT Breakfast is on the way very shortly. They've got Jermaine Defoe, who's talking about England and Spurs. Barry Hearn will be chatting all things boxing. And, a busy day here on talkSPORT, also including White and John speaking to Ben Proud all about the enhanced games. That's going to be very interesting indeed. You've been listening to Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Katie Shanahan and with Adrian Flux, insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Alan Brazil and Gabby Bonhor are up next. Have a great day.